Moving to item number 2 is a presentation from the Friends of the, what's the official name of the Friends of the Lake? Presented by Mr. Hamish Brookie and Mr. Tim Trubridge, I believe. Here we go.
You know. Oh gosh. Oh yeah.
Mike, could you see what's going on at the door there, please?
Sorry? This will be interesting.
Other people coming in.
Okay, everybody, if you wouldn't mind, we're moving to agenda item number 2. Presentation on lake levels and lakeshore erosion, etc., by Mr. Trubridge and Mr. Brookie. So, welcome, gentlemen. Please proceed.
Thank you, Mayor Rick and Councillors, for inviting the Friends of Lake Taupo to this meeting today. The main representatives here, apart from those sitting in the gallery, are Johnny Bell, Hamish Brookie, and myself, Tim Trubridge. We collectively, through our whānaus, have had a connection with Lake Taupo for 165 years. This presentation will last about 35 minutes. I recommend we leave questions to the end.
Well, just if I could interrupt you there, I did give you originally 30. So if you want 35, we'll be out of question time.
The Friends of Lake Taupo have been established to connect and provide a voice for lakeshore ratepayer communities around the lake who are affected by accelerated erosion caused by human activities, namely the current management of Lake Taupo by EW and hydro generators. We will advocate for the future sustainable management of Lake Taupo. The inaugural meeting of the Friends of Lake Taupo attracted 140 people, representing 100 families from 8 different communities, including some hapu of Tuwharetoa. The Friends of Lake Taupo now have an indicative membership of at least 1,000 people. A number of our members have joined us today, and others are viewing via the webcam. The group intends to establish itself as a key stakeholder so its members can become involved more in shaping the future and appropriate implementation of the foreshore erosion strategy. The Friends of Lake Taupo have been set up to provide balance to an issue that has fallen between the gaps. The hydro generators have their scientific theories. They are cherry-picking their own science to support their argument that promotes the false idea that the lake is operated similar to natural. We will provide balance to their interpretation of their own science. It is unfortunate that matters have got to a point where your community feels it needs to set up an organisation to promote the sustainable management of Lake Taupo. In most communities, regional councils lead the charge, but this is not so with Lake Taupo. Have a think about why that is so here on Lake Taupo. Many of our members have been involved in this issue for over a decade. They sense and feel a level of indifference and a lack of empathy for their concerns. They have argued the science, but logic and reason do not rule the day when politics are involved. They feel they have spoken at times very strongly. They feel they have not been listened to. They feel they have been feel they will pay unjustly for the effects of accelerated erosion that they do not cause. Friends of Lake Taupo's aim, if required, is to have the conditions of consent that influence lake level management reviewed. The way we read it, Friends of Lake Taupo and TDC's strategic objectives are in fact aligned. We are here to support you. However, if you choose EW's left road, the FLT ratepayers will take the right road. I'll hand over now to Johnny Bell. I'll carry on. So why are FLT members concerned? Taupo District ratepayers and lakeside residents, including Hapu of Turangi-Tongariro, are becoming increasingly concerned about erosion of the lake shore. Rapid erosion of the lake shore is destroying public access to beaches and lakeside property at an alarming rate. The current rate of unnatural erosion is unprecedented. For example, in the last few years at Kuratau, 40 metres of the 50-metre wide lakeshore reserve has been destroyed by accelerated erosion. Pukawa 10 metres, Turangi-Tongariro 10 metres, and other locations, Lake Terrace, 5 Mile Bay, Waitanui, Hatapi, to name just a few locations. This is truly a lake-wide issue. If erosion is not checked, more lakeside reserve will be destroyed. Public access, public recreation and infrastructure assets along the lakeshore will also be destroyed. The existing lakeside reserves form an erosion buffer between a raging, erosive lake and lakeside property. If the reserve buffer that protects both public and private land is destroyed, lakeshore property will be next in line. To maintain future public access on lakeside erosions that may be destroyed or by erosion, private land may be taken in the future. If accelerated erosion continues, our rates, our assets, our futures are threatened. Our future will be determined by how the Council drives the flood and erosion strategy forward. To be frank with you, this scares us. For example, considering today's Council agenda, item 12, page 917 and page 1317, says Council has limited ability to intervene to reduce lakeshore erosion. Have you been brainwashed into believing erosion is a natural hazard? This is defeatist thinking. That is and will cause this Council to fail in its stated strategic direction when implementing the foreshore and erosion strategy. At Pukawa, recently, one of the TDC's officers suggested to the people there erosion was caused by use of the beach. This is the message TDC. Is this the message that TDC wants to convey to its public? Surely we should have said that erosion is a result of unsustainable lake management by hydro generators and the flood manager. We would like the councillors to consider carefully what messages it is sending to its public. FLT are concerned with the policy direction Waikato Regional Council is taking. In their recent draft Waikato Regional Policy Statement, it says, when considering consents on the lower Waikato, the Waikato River will be considered to have a higher status than Lake Taupo. Is the Waikato really more important than Lake Taupo? Is Tainui more important than Turangi-Tongariro? No way. This draft policy written by EW allows adverse environmental effects to be mitigated across the whole catchment. This is EW setting up a policy framework to legitimise erosion effects on Lake Taupo to mitigate flood management activities on the lower Waikato. EW has many conflicting roles regarding Lake Taupo. They are the flood manager. They use Taupo control gates owned by MRP. From time to time, they decide to flood Lake Taupo to save flooding on the lower Waikato, presumably to protect the environment that they really do care about most. They are implicated in causing accelerated erosion on Lake Taupo. They are the consenting authority who gave consent to all the hydro operators on Lake Taupo. They monitor and audit consents. They receive and decide how to distribute project watershed funds. They direct regional policy. They influence TDC's district plan. Ultimately, they are the final decision maker to determine if any Lake Taupo consents should be reviewed. Being both the poacher and gamekeeper would be a good description of EW's conflicting roles in managing Lake Taupo. We are concerned that EW, as TDC's erosion and foreshore strategy partner, has significant internal and external conflicts of interest that need to be addressed. EW has different objectives that do not necessarily align with the interests of Taupo District, the Taupo District community, or the lakeshore environment. It is harsh to say, but it is a reality It is a reality that EW is prepared to sacrifice Lake Taupo to minimise the cost of future flood protection works on the lower Waikato River. Can TDC trust EW? Is that really acceptable to TDC?